Today, I'm taking on the challenge of doing the exact opposite of what it takes to charm people and see if it actually works. Charm is one of those intangible qualities that can make or break your social interactions. We've all met people who seem to effortlessly win others over with their warmth, empathy, and charisma. Typically, we think of charm as involving positive behaviors, being kind, attentive, and genuinely interested in others. But what if I told you that doing the opposite of what we consider charming might actually get you the same results? I think we've all been there, feeling like we just don't have that special something that makes us instantly likable. We try to put on a good face, but we can't help but come across as awkward or uncharismatic. It's like we're stuck in some kind of social limbo, unsure of how to break free and connect with others. Maybe you've tried following all the usual advice. Be confident, make eye contact, use positive body language, but somehow it just doesn't feel natural. You feel like you're putting on an act and people can see right through it. Or maybe you're just not the outgoing type, and the idea of being charming or charismatic feels like it's just not in your DNA. You're more introverted, preferring to observe from the sidelines rather than being the life of the party. But that doesn't mean you don't want to connect with others or make a good impression. The problem is we often feel like we're not good enough, that we're somehow broken or deficient because we can't seem to charm people like others do. The truth is, being charming isn't just about being extroverted or outgoing. It's about being relatable, and that's something anyone can do, regardless of their personality type. But before we dive into the opposite approach, let's explore why it's so hard to feel charismatic in the first place. Are we just not born with it, or is it something we can learn? When we think of charm, we often think of behaviors that are seen as attractive, being confident, friendly, and sociable. But what if I told you that some of these behaviors can actually be off-putting or even seen as manipulative? Take confidence, for example. While it's generally seen as a positive trait, overconfidence can come across as arrogant or insincere. Or take being overly friendly. Sometimes it can feel like you're trying too hard, like you're not genuine in your approach. In fact, some of the most charming people I've met aren't the ones who try to be charming at all. They're often the ones who are a little quirky, a little awkward, and a little unexpected. They're the ones who don't try to put on a show or impress anyone, but somehow they still manage to win you over. And that's what we're going to explore today. The art of doing the opposite to charm people and seeing if it actually works. So, what are some common behaviors that we think are charming but might actually be working against us? Take being talkative, for example. While it's great to be engaging and conversational, dominating the conversation can be a major turnoff. Or take being overly critical. While it's important to have opinions and stand up for what you believe in, being too negative can be off-putting. But what if, instead of trying to be more talkative or critical, we did the opposite? What if we listened more and spoke less? What if we focused on lifting others up rather than tearing them down? The key is to understand that people are drawn to those who are real, relatable, and authentic. They're drawn to those who are willing to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to be themselves, even if that means being a little quirky or awkward. So instead of trying to put on a show or be someone you're not, try being the opposite. Be reserved, be quiet, be a little introverted. See how it feels to hold back and observe rather than trying to be the center of attention. In the end, charm isn't about being someone you're not. It's about embracing who you are and using that to connect with others on a deeper level. It's about being willing to take risks, to be vulnerable, and to be real. And that's what we've learned today, that doing the opposite of what we think is charming can sometimes lead to the most unexpected and powerful connections. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And if you've ever tried doing the opposite to charm people, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about social skills and how to connect with others, be sure to check out my next video on building meaningful relationships.